morning. Happy Thanksgiving. Welcome to our gratitude yoga class this morning. So glad you're joining us. I'm going to start seated on a block because we're going to be seated for a little bit here as we kind of settle into our mats and get our breath work done. Let's just find some ease. So make yourself comfortable as well. Fix my high pony, get it nice and fluffy. All right, so of course it's gratitude week of classes. Everything I've taught is kind of heart openers, back bends, shoulder openers, just as a way to start making space in our heart to kind of receive that gratitude. It's also been setting intentions of kind of thanking those around us, people we come across during the week. Something to note about yoga is, especially as we're going through heart openers, we think about, expanding, and of course it feels like, oh yeah, that's creating this space and opening up. And that's actually a way to kind of send love out into your space or to others. And to kind of go against that, or the opposite, when we come down into like these little tight falls that we grab our knees, and even as we finish practice where we inhale and bring things all to our heart, that allows us to kind of receive gratitude and open ourselves up to receive. So I want to start with kind of this heart gratitude meditation this morning, where we're going to try and balance sending and receiving gratitude, because a lot of times it's really hard for us to receive thanks, and it doesn't feel even right in our bodies to be like, oh yeah, you don't need to do that for me. And we're so hesitant when people try to share their love with us and their gratitude. We would rather oftentimes just be like, oh, thank you, and send it out. So let's balance that out and be able to receive things a little bit easier today as they come up. So I want you to place your right hand on your heart, and left hand is going to come out to the side, palm face forward. So there we're balancing this receiving and opening ourselves up to send. We're going to do this for about a minute, and with the hand out to the side, I want you to take a deep inhale in through your nose, and then exhale, keep hands right where they are. On your next inhale, we're just going to switch other hand to your heart, the other right hand opens up to the side. So inhale here, and exhale. You'll continue this, just alternating, and inhale and exhale on each side, kind of with your own speed and sense of pace. Keep alternating and continuing on, noticing if you can deepen your breath at all. You can relax through your jaw. Let tension go here. Let your shoulders find a little bit more ease. Your teeth are clenching or your jaw is tight. Try to find a little bit of relaxation as you exhale. your balance on both sides, which means ending with the right hand out. I want you just to bring both hands to your lap. Take a couple breaths. We want to bring awareness kind of to our rib cage, breathing more with our torso. So if you can get those hands kind of about to the bottom of your bra strap, even a little bit lower is okay. I just want those fingers wrapped around, like a corset around your body. Thumbs are behind you. All 4 fingers are in front of your body. Give yourself a little squeeze here. Pushing a little pressure inward. Then when you inhale, let those hands expand. Notice how your ribs expand and contract with your breath. Don't let these breaths cause tension for you. Take subtler or softer if you feel yourself getting choppy at the top of your breath. Rest hands on your lap again. Just a sweet way to remember and feel that breath. Amazing life force that enters our body. And I want you to cross both hands on your heart. And close your eyes, looking to notice and sense our heartbeat here. Applying a slight pressure maybe to our chest. Of course, you might at first notice your chest expanding and contracting with breath. I want you to notice a little deeper and see if you can feel your heartbeat in your hands. Return hands to your lap and let's find a bit of ease here. Even though our body is feeling a sense of calm, find length in our spine, taking a deep inhale. As you do so, let's shrug our shoulders up by our ears. And then the exhale, let them relax. Slow, easy exhale. And then let your body pause, but let your breath continue here. Inhaling and exhaling. Okay, let's move on to our hands and knees. Find some movement in our body. Any of those cricks and kinks out that kind of happen sometimes when we sit. So moving through some cat-cows. Cat-cow is that great balance as well as sending and receiving with your heart. So think about as you inhale, drop belly and open that heart out. All the love we can send. And on the exhale, we're rounding that spine, contracting our chest, and receiving. Do a few more just like that. Inhale, drop belly, gaze up. Exhale, round the spine. And feel free to continue these and add any additional little twists or turns or little modifications to get into any tightness or stiffness in your shoulders, back, hips.
Okay, from here, we're going to move into puppy pose. So hips are gonna stay up over our knees and just walk hands straight out in front of you. Let forehead come down to the mat. Biceps and ears are by each other. Take a couple inhales and exhales here. Thinking about that heart expanding. And let's walk hands back towards us. Hands underneath shoulders, so we're in tabletop. Extend right leg out to the side, toes point forward. Ground through that pinky edge of your foot. Let's inhale, reach hand out and up overhead. Take as much of a chest stretch and shoulder stretch here as is comfortable. So spending a little extra time rainbowing that hand up and down, back and forth. And then reach top hand up towards the sky. Adding just some dynamic thread the needles here. Take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, reach underneath that arm. We're not bringing anything down to touch the earth. We're just reaching through to the left side. And on the inhale, expanding and opening up that heart. Gaze upward. Exhale again. Thread that needle, reach and twist. And inhale, open up. Bring more attention to that right foot and really plant it firmly as you stretch here. And keep it firmly energized to the earth as you reach under again and twist. Wiggle your fingers once you're threading that needle. Maybe roll wrist out. And open up one more time. Let's plant hand back on the earth and step back to tabletop. Neutralize our spine here for just one breath cycle. Then extending left leg out to the side, toes point forward. Again, that pinky edge of our foot grounds down. Inhale, reach hand up and open. Spending time here again, rainbowing that hand forwards and backwards. Stretching any bit. And pausing with that arm up top. Inhale. And on the exhale, reach under right side. Inhale, open up, expand. And exhale, thread the needle. One more time, open up, ground that left foot firmly into the earth. Stretch and release, reach under right side. Wiggle fingers, make wrist circles. Expand, open up. Come back into tabletop. Take these mat width apart, big toes come together and sit back on your heels. Then let's bring chest down towards the ground. Let's leave our elbows bent here. So we're gonna stack our palms on top of each other and let our forehead come down to our stacked palms. Taking a few inhales and exhales here, just letting our bodies settle. So as you're here, I want you to think about someone you know that is really good at something that you admire. And I want you just to kind of say this silent thank you out to them for their gifts. And now the hard part is thinking of something that you're really good at. something that adds value to your life and probably those around you. And I want you to tell yourself thank you. Coming back up into tabletop. Let's find down dog, tucking our toes, making that upside down V. Pedal out your feet. Let those hips kind of sway side to side, finding any other movements here that really kind of resonate with you right now. And let's bend knees, gaze forward, and take a few steps to get to the top of your mat. Keep knees bent and grab opposite elbows. Let your upper body just release and fold down in toward your lap. Head is hanging heavy and loose, as well as your shoulders. And forward fold. Perfect opportunity to kind of let any negative feelings or thing that happened to you this week or this month that's still kind of nagging at you. Take a couple breaths in and out and think about releasing that. Just telling yourself that you're going to move forward. Right, bring hands down to the mat. Straighten your legs. Even if your fingers kind of hover here above the ground. Then hands to shins for halfway lift, flat back. Lengthen your spine here from the tip of your head so you've got like this crown on the top of your head, right? Reach that forward. Spine lengthens all the way through your tailbone. Find a few easy breaths here and draw shoulders away from your ears. Maybe bring chest slightly forward. And if your knees are locked out here, find a micro bend. Draw navel towards your spine. Extend one hand out overhead. Creating length here. Then swing those fingertips down like you're going to touch the earth. Then open up to the right side. Finding that twist. All right, bring that hand down to your shin. Create that length again. Extend opposite arm forward. Check in with that navel. Make sure you're energizing navel to spine. Let those fingers dangle down towards the earth, straight down. On an inhale, open straight up to the side as you twist to the left. And bring that hand back down. Grab opposite elbows, bend those knees forward, fold. All right, bend knees just a little bit more. Let fingers, again, either touch the earth or dangle. Keep your spine rounding as you slowly really stand strong onto the earth and roll up to stand. Make some shoulder circles forward and back. And hands out towards the side and kind of swing slowly, mindfully twisting right to left. Kind of noticing what your feet do here. They like to twist, kind of lift up off the edges as you go side to side. Let's ground our feet down more firmly into the earth. Create a little bit of length. Continue our twists and notice the sensations that change with that small little adjustment. All right, let's shake our arms.
Shake our wrists and fingers. All right, find Tadasana, so feet about shoulder width apart. Arms down by your sides. Let's build Tadasana from the ground up today. We are standing on the bottoms of our feet, of course, and think about these roots from the bottom of your feet, reaching past your mat, past your floor, down, either into your basement or the earth beneath you. All right, wiggle your toes just a little bit. Notice if you can balance a little more evenly through all the edges of your feet. Feel your ankles, your calves, your shins. Notice if your knees are locking out or hyperextended here. Find a small bit of softness to them. While you do that, let's firm our thighs just a little bit to find lift into our hips and low belly. Go right back down. Check in with those knees. If you lock your knees out while trying to create that sensation, try to find that balance. Soft knees, engaged thighs. And this slight firming around your core. Think about how we had our hands around our ribs. Imagine them around your hips and mid-belly. And now ribs. Everything is holding in. Lengthening out our neck while our shoulders relax. Out the crown of our head. There's a lot of thought that goes into Tadasana, right? A lot of times we just take this pose rather quickly. But there's a lot of intention that comes into classic yoga pose. Having a couple more breaths here. Kind of this sensation here that we create. Actually, the goal of many of our poses and most of our poses is to kind of have this same sense that we can create here while standing. Tadasana is that root of all of our poses. Kind of considering that when we move through things, rather than creating this tension in our bodies and our shoulders and our chest. Looking to find softness, still nice and strong. With an inhale, let arms float up overhead. Bring palms together and then down through your heart as you bow into a forward fold. Let head completely drop. Release tension. Then inhale, find that same halfway lift that we created earlier. Nice long spine, navel towards your back. On an exhale, forward fold, release with straight legs. And then bend your knees. We're coming into a chair pose. So sit back like you're in a chair. Let those arms swoop up in front of you. Gaze between your hands. So you notice that your butt is kind of sticking straight out behind you. Try to lengthen a little bit through that spine, looking for more of a neutral pelvis. So we've got one version where you're tucking in, almost like we were to find cat. Another sensation is that cow where your belly's sinking. Look to lengthen through that core for Tadasana. And look to create that sensation in chair. If your shoulders bothers you to keep hands straight overhead, arms around ears, then it's okay to reach them forward here, or even keep them at your heart. Sink a little bit lower in your chair pose. Then bring heart down towards your lap, hands to the earth. Inhale, halfway lift.
And exhale, bow forward with straight legs. All right, this time bend knees and step back to tabletop so that we're on our hands and knees again. Move through one cat-cow cycle. So inhale, drop belly, gaze up. And exhale, round spine, tuck chin. Come back to neutral and step those feet backwards a little bit so that we are in modified plank. Let the tops of your feet be on the earth. And then lower all the way down to your belly. I want you to walk hands out about 45 degrees, be off the top corners of your mat. Intent elbows up towards the sky. And be on the pads of your fingers. Forehead comes down to the earth. And then inhale, come into this modified baby cobra here where you're pushing fingerprints into the earth, looking to straighten arms, push pelvis down towards the ground. Notice if you are kind of releasing a little engagement from the tops of your feet and press the tops of your feet firmer into the earth. Now relax your shoulders. Take one more inhale here. And exhale, lower down. Bring hands underneath your shoulders. I'm going to push back into a rock pose. So rock pose is like child's pose. Just our knees stay directly under us. Let hips sink back towards your heels. Forehead down to the mat. Come back into tabletop. Tuck toes and lift hips up into down dog. So if you're like me, like I managed to walk off my mat in these moves. So I'm going to adjust back onto my mat. It's like I'm a little creepy crawler inching my way around on the mat. All right, pedal up to your feet here. Let's take our right leg high. Bend that knee, kind of stack hips, opening up into this twist. But let palms kind of stay evenly weighted on the mat. And in doing so, trying to get shoulders to stay squared off to the ground. Then extend leg into three-legged dog. Step forward to low lunge. Bring left knee down to the mat. Play with this low lunge here for just a moment. Sinking deeper. And then inhale, reach hands forward and up. So that shoulders are up over your hips. Gaze between your hands and then lift with your heart towards the sky. Try to find the back bend. If it feels better to cactus arms out here, feel free to do so. Inhale, reach hands high and bring left hand down. Take your dragonfly twist. Using those blocks underneath your hands as a way to bring that floor a little closer to you. So just like we did before, how we rainbowed that hand overhead and then behind us, I want you to try that here. Kind of opening up that chest a little bit more. Taking any stretch that feels good as you reach forward and back. And this organic movement, find your tightness. And then reach that top hand high. Bring hand back down to the earth. And looking to take left hand now, reach it straight out to the side. I'm going to turn so you can see. We've got right hand either on a block or on the mat. You can also bring the forearm up to your thigh here. And open left hand out to the side. And try to twist and reach up towards the sky. Now do the same thing with the arm here. Reach forward and rainbow it back. Take a couple more of those. And finish with reaching straight up to the sky and back down to the mat. Tuck those toes on your back foot. And let's step back into our plank. You can either keep knees up off the mat this time or lower down to your knees. And then lower all the way to your chest. Untuck toes, ground tops of your feet down, push pelvis into the earth, and then come up to baby cobra. And exhale, lower down. Do a couple more breath cycles just like that. Inhale, roll upward, and exhale, lower down. One more time. Inhale, we push up a little further. Exhale, lower down. Push back to rock pose. Hips sink towards heels. Come into tabletop, and then down dog. Lift left leg high. Bend that knee and twist through your hips. Again, even out that weight between palms. Try to square shoulders off to the mat. Extend leg to three-legged dog, and then step forward to low lunge. Lower down to right knee. Reach hands forward, come into low crescent lunge. Gaze up between hands. And take your back bend any bit here as heart lifts towards the sky. Maybe cactus arms. Bring right hand down to the mat. Open up into your dragonfly twist. Rainbow arch that hand and arm back and forth. Again, stretching and reaching any bit to kind of make this really feel good in your body, looking for tight spots. And end with hand reaching up towards the sky and place it to the outside of that left foot. Again, modify with the block or feel free to bring that forearm to your thigh. We're going to reach left or right hand open this time towards the side. And rainbow arch, opening and expanding. Finishing with that reach up towards the sky, hand plants. Tuck the toes on that back foot. This time we're going to step forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow. Sink back in your chair. Then reach hands up. Gaze between hands. Relax your shoulders and jaw. Find that neutral pelvis. Then rise up to stand. Cactus arm back bend. Reach hands high on an inhale and find Tadasana. Let's look to recreate that ease that we found earlier. Putting a little bit more intention into our Tadasana. Starting with your feet scan. Knees, thighs, hips, shoulders, crown of your head. Now your breath. Consider closing your eyes here. And look to bring your hands to heart center.
All right, I want you to think about some object in your life, something inanimate that you're very grateful for. And just tell yourself in your head, thank you for the earth beneath my feet, that ground, your house, your job, the special fork, whatever you guys kind of had come to mind. Weird things pop in my head, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes you just gotta smile at yourself, right? Hey. All right, inhale, reach hands high. Exhale, forward fold. Let's sink hips down like we're gonna sit in that chair and then reach hands up overhead. Nice bendy chair. We sink a little bit lower, building some strength in those legs. Make sure you can still wiggle your toes and that they don't kind of grip the earth here. Fold into that lap, straighten legs, let head hang heavy. Instead, let's walk hands over to the right side of our mat. Keep left leg straight and find a bend in that right knee. So this is another opportunity we have to use our blocks to bring the floor a little closer to us. You like that grounding sensation under your hands. And swing back through forward fold, straighten both legs. And if you have your blocks, walk them over to the other side. Bend left knee, keep right leg straight. And come back to center, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift hands to shin, lengthen your spine. Exhale, bow. Plant hands, step back to your plank. All right, yogi's choice here. You've got knee modification with baby cobra, or you can do full plank version chaturanga, up dog. And everyone is going to make their way back to down dog. So if you did chaturanga, you might already be in down dog. I want you to hold it. If you're flowing through baby cobra, take your time. Find rock pose. Go into tabletop. Follow your process. Once you're in down dog, feel free to pedal out your feet any bit. All right, now let's take right leg high. Bend that knee, take your twist. If you have a flip dog that you want to add to your practice this morning, go ahead and do that. Or just stay here, trying to square shoulders off to the earth. Maybe lifting knee up a little bit higher. And everyone will come back to three-legged dog. Extend the right leg straight behind you. Rise up high onto your toes. Think about lifting hips even higher. Now step through for low lunge. All right, we're going to look to recreate that flow we just did. But we're going to do it up off that knee this time. If you want to stay on your knee and go through that flow again, feel free to do so. So inhale, reach hands high into high crescent lunge. Relax shoulders, gaze up between hands. Now add a back bend. Maybe cactus arms out. You can even take hands to your low back, into the small of your back here, like we would for camel. Lift heart. Draw elbows together if you're taking that variation. Then reach hands up overhead. Bring left hand down to the ground. Dragonfly twist. And the best thing I have to say here is just like
flap that dragonfly wing. It's like reaching it up and back. And I say that to kind of loosen that arm up. Don't let it hold so much tension while you do this. It's okay to kind of let it flow freely. And start or stop, pause with that hand high. Take an inhale, and on the exhale, hand comes down to the outside of that foot. All right, adjusting so that we're opening up on that left arm. Again, right hand can stay on the earth, block, or forearm to thigh. Inhale, reach left hand high. Kind of take that arm up and back. Check in with your jaw, anywhere else that you're like, oh, I didn't realize I was clenching my teeth here. Relax a little bit. Reach hand high. All right, we're gonna tuck this arm underneath like we did for that figure 4 stretch earlier. Reach under right leg. And open up high, gaze up. We're gonna do that 2 more times. Reach underneath right leg and open up. One more time, take that twist underneath leg, wiggle fingers, take wrist circles. Open back up. Hands come down around that front foot. Step back to plank. All right, your version of flow to come into down dog. I'm gonna take left leg high. Bend that knee, open up through side body. Again, flip dog in your practice. You can go here or just stay with that knee bent, squaring hips and shoulders, or rather shoulders and hands. Everyone adjust back to 3-legged dog. Rise up high on those toes, lift hips up a little higher. We do that to kind of make a little bit of clearance to step forward. Inhale, high crescent. Again, option to do this on your knee. High crescent lunge. All right, I got a Charlie horse. Okay. Take your back bend. Again, versions are straight arm, cactus arm, or hands to that low back. Just feel that heart open, and can you lift with that heart centered towards the sky. Release and reach hands straight up overhead. Bring right hand down, look up at the left. Bring that arm rainbowing, loosening tension, and just let this flow freely back and forth. Pause with hand high. Exhale, hand down to the earth. Adjusting, grabbing that block or bringing forearm to your thigh. I want you to stay on the ball of that back foot if your knee is lifted. Inhale, left hand or right hand high. Take that rainbow with your wing. And noticing tension. Want things to kind of be easy and flowing. Reach hands straight up to the sky, deep breath in. On the exhale, reach under left leg, thread the needle. Inhale, open up, gaze up. Exhale, thread the needle. Inhale, open. Exhale, reach one more time. Reach those fingertips, wiggle them, roll wrist out. Open up one deep breath in here. Exhale, hands down. Step forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow. Sit back in your chair and reach hands high. Gaze between palms. Sink a little bit lower. And then rise up to stand. Take your back bend. Reach hands high. And Tadasana. Close your eyes here. Reconnect all those points of your body. All right, 2020 has been kind of this crazy world, right? Where we feel like we got so much taken away from us. And I want you to take a moment, think about something. Actually, let's bring hands to heart first. I want you to think about something that you did do that was fun or felt really good. Something that you were still able to accomplish. Let's reflect on that memory for a moment. Those feelings you had. Bring back to that joy or peace, that happiness, whatever that moment in time brought you. Be thankful, grateful, filled with love that you were able to do that. Turn hands down to Tadasana by your side. Palms face forward. My quick side note is like this heart center mudra, that Anjali mudra, really is that time for self-reflection. And when we have our palms down by our sides here in mountain pose, it is that time to send things out. Being open, finding that balance to send and receive. It's like an email would do. So I want you to think about someone else in your life that maybe got to accomplish something or do something really cool, try something new. I want you to just find a little bit of joy in their joy for a moment and being happy for them. I always think that when we kind of find that time to be happy for others, that it also fills our heart. So it's one of those things that you can do to help find that balance in your own mood. You can't find anything about yourself to be happy about or positive about. Look to the joy of others and what they're going through or experiencing or having done. Just be happy for them. Let that happiness kind of absorb into your body as well. Inhale, take hands high overhead and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine and bow. Bend those knees so we're sitting back in that chair. Reach hands high. Gaze up between palms. Bring the hands through heart center and then down towards the ground as you fold into your lap. Step back into your plank. One last flow, any version you want to take to get yourself to down dog. Our final down dog. So if you have any additional stretching you want to do, reaching those heels towards the earth, take that deep stretch. Take it here. Then come on down to your knees. Cross ankles and just swing those feet straight out in front of you. Bring hands at an angle behind you. So you're kind of leaning back on them, but don't collapse into them. Make it intentional so that the heart is still lifting. Maybe drawing shoulder blades back behind you for a couple moments. And just windshield wiper your feet left to right. So keep your legs straight here for a moment. And try to get those, like the outside pinky edge down and your big toe down as you rotate right to left. Not letting those hips rise too high. Kind of taking that stretch into your hip socket. Now bend knees, bring feet to the ground. And windshield wiper right to left. Small at first, like leave hips on the ground. Notice those sensations. With both sit bones heavy on the earth, I want you to drop these to the right. Just noticing what stretch you can take here. And do the same on the other side. Keep those hips heavy. Back to center. I'm taking those windshield wipers even larger. Hips lift up. So knees to the left, that right hip lifts. And as you do that, right shoulder draws back. So shoulders are twisting away. That upper body twists a different direction than your knees. Go through center and switch directions. Take it back and forth a few times. And reach forward now around those knees. Make a tight little ball. Draw nose down, forehead down. Keep spine rounded. Let's lower down to our backs and pull our knees into our chest. Rock right to left. So making our way into reclined Baddha Konasana, it's called, or cobbler's pose. I want the bottoms of your feet to come together. Knees are bent. They're out to the sides. Place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, whichever goes there naturally. Taking a couple moments here. Let ease come into your body and try to soften. So again, we have a couple different energy forces here at work. Our knees relaxing open, kind of leaving ourselves open to send things out. Hands on heart and belly is more of this reserved energy for yourself. It's all about trying to find that balance today. All right, so maybe setting ourselves up for this opposite pose of that. We're going to step our feet mat width apart. Let our knees fall together. If your knees fall heavily together, just toe heel your feet out a little bit wider. so that there's either a lightness between your knees or space. And now cactus your arms out to the sides. Or tee them off to the sides as well if that's too sharp of a heart opener to cactus them. Now find some relaxation here, some softness anywhere in your body that you notice gripping, holding on. There's always parts of our body that are resistant to cooperate or change, participate. All right, let's slide our legs out, making this reclined starfish pose. So every limb is reaching outward toward the corner of the room, expanding into as much space as possible. Taking that full body stretch, even if you want to kind of wave those arms up and down overhead, bring palms together and open them back up. Kind of making a snow angel with your arms and then adding that with your legs. Feel free to do that because winter is coming. All right, take one final stretch, expanding into all four corners. And then an exhale, bring everything in to this knee to nose pose where you're this tight little ball. Take a deep inhale. And on the exhale, release down into Shavasana. Palms can face up, palms can face down, and noticing kind of what we've learned here. When your palms are up, you're kind of sending things out, ready to receive as well. Palms face down is like, yeah, I'm just gonna be a little guarded here. Keep things in. Just find some ease in this Shavasana. Thanksgiving Day, and it's time to spend a little energy on loving those around us a little bit more. Being thankful for those things that we have in our lives and not worrying about things that aren't ours to have in this moment. Looking for moments to find joy in others' happiness today. Laughs and giggles or smiles. Appreciating everything you're surrounded with. Feeling free to stay in Shavasana as long as you wish. You can always just turn off the screen if you're like, I just need to lay here a little bit longer. Or if you want to come out of Shavasana now, roll off to your side, find some small movements, and take that energy into a fetal position for a few moments. Finding your way up to a seated spot on your mat. Just taking a couple breaths here. Let's close our eyes, hands on our knees. Give yourself a little bit of a smile here so that we can all see it. Everyone peek, see each other's smiles. And take a deep inhale. Reach hands out and up overhead. And hands down to your heart, head bows. You guys, I hope your Thanksgiving is blessed and that you find and share all the love and gratitude with those around you today. Namaste.